line all the more replayable because you play through it with a friend. Kind of just, man, who
I just started a stream.
all jokes aside, the split screen is a really fun add-on. It does add some extra replayability if you have somebody in the house, a roommate, a friend, a significant other that you both want to play Call of Duty World at War together. Going back to the previous topic, though, because one of my biggest pet peeves is if someone brings up an adjective, then refuses to explain it. So I feel it's point why the it's going to see it, which you want to be out. Well, how I get it? That's the
fact that I had to reload that.
What are you doing?
What?
their arms are
Yeah, I can
so
do it.
it's floating all because
I've been just building in here by myself the entire time, by the way.
the ground nearby.
I know, that's what we're doing. So you don't have to feel lonely.
Screaming and agony.
Yeah, I basically put my party on public because all my friends that I usually play with are like gone or asleep or some shit right now. So I was like, might as well just go and
different types of
chill.
contact, which makes it never feel like someone is just blowing up due to being punched in the arm. It adds that level of immersion atmosphere that I discussed earlier, allowing people to really feel that they are in this
Where did you get that pickaxe from?
It's Skull Scepter. It's not even that big. It's basically a skull version of Star Wand.
Worst possible situation where you get to experience.
It's a skull version of Star Wand. That's why I have it.
You know what's crazy about that? How I killed you like that? Dude, is that how you saw me first though?
I'm streaming, by the way. I hope you know that.
The triumphant end of overcoming the Nazi regime. The presentation before the mission intro also has this modern style to it, kind of like Modern Warfare, while somehow also maintaining the historical presentation.
Also gave myself 830 DPI, so now my DPI is pretty high for myself.
But the modern graphics give it this stylistic feel of like an animated short film. Someone had to go through and hand make all of these.
I got all this room on my table to edit now.
Some damn hard work, and that hard work paid off immensely. Another reason why atmosphere, you can tell it's better in this game versus other Call of Duties, and you can tell it's the focal point of this game is the AI. At the time of this game, there was only one enemy AI in the IW engine. The developers of Treyarch specifically went in and altered the AI for Japanese soldiers versus Nazi soldiers. So they could mimic guerrilla warfare and mimic how they were trained versus the way Nazis were trained. These admirable emotions can't even be seen from a modern Call of Duty title like Vanguard, where there is not a massive distinction.
I don't even know why I using the exotic
soldiers. The last thing I want to say too,
because the exotic really wouldn't help you against killing me.
It's dark, it's dreary, and it's gross. Even when the game is bright, it looks like there's almost this dark cloud over everything, and this is very intentional. You can poke fun at it and call it a nasty filter, but hey, it's World War II, and if the intention is to be gross, then make the filter fucking gross. If that's the intention this game wants to get.
I knew I was gonna die. I'm trying to plug in my fucking keyboard.
How disgusting everything was, how terrifying it is.
I'm on some bullshit right now trying to plug in my keyboard's freaking wire.
As they can possibly
being a pain in my ass.
They always show you what can happen to people in war rather than just trying to explain it. The first mission shows a man get his throat cut open right in front of you. The second mission shows a man getting shot in the head and shows his brains as he lays down in the U-boat.
I had to turn my monitor completely around so I can plug this in. I had to turn my monitor around entirely.
Zach, do you think this gun is overrated?
Bro, why is it such a pain in my ass to plug this? Oh. That's why. Because it's half broken. That makes so much more sense. That gun, that thing is that plug is half broken. That actually makes sense now. So then I have to put that there, put my monitor in front, put that here.
Why would I edit backwards? Oh my god,
And
that's
that
the one
fourth
thing I
mission
hate
showed
about
that graveyard of dead
playing on
soldiers
the
created by
controller.
Nazis.
Editing backwards and stuff, and editing on the wrong way.
My
What?
key came out my entire keyboard just now.
The sound design also helps with this. The music helps out greatly. And even that main menu music is just ominous. That main menu where it almost looks like you can't see the light of the land through all this war.
Papa, no!
You don't know what's beyond that fog in the island.
Oh
and
my
this
god,
main
bro.
menu music with it, it's just.
I've already seen the new season's trailer. I know the new season's going to be fire. I'm about to try rank so much in the next season.
Usually they'll do something to mix it up for you. Like they'll give you a tank mission, a plane mission, a flamethrower mission, which is one of the best in the game.
I gotta turn my monitor around again, bro.
Bro, what are you doing?
Easier to follow in this game because
I had to plug I had to plug in my Apex Pro, and whenever I plug it in, it's just weird.
On doing something that would make the campaigns feel distinct from one another, so you can remember what each.
I literally have it set backwards, by the way.
Pretend like these characters or anything.
I kind of called that.
But there
Who's Alpha
are
X?
voice actors.
I have no idea who Alpha X is.
Gary Oldman in the past, which is crazy because that's Hollywood.
Peterbot.
Oh my god.
I don't think you understand. The Apex Pro and the Superlight is basically what Peterbot uses. So I have his activation points and everything for the keyboard.
Nobody can voice Reznov except Gary Oldman. He just has a breathtaking voice. He does such a great job. Reznov,
maybe not the edits.
In the game that has made such a long-lasting impression that they kept the storyline of World at War canon to Black Ops, with the only reoccurring character being Reznov.
Okay, maybe my hand on my mouse hurts instead of my keyboard hurting with my hand now.
Reznov did for Treyarch what Captain Price did for Infinity. It gave them a mascot, and nowadays you may see that mascot as Frank Woods or Mason, but at the time in 2000...
I have to put my keyboard at an angle now, just so I can, like, edit perfectly and stuff. Just to edit good, I have to have my whole keyboard at an angle now. It's so weird.
Is there anything... Not really. I could...
But I found a way to get stretch resolution on PC.
Especially for...
And I still have it to this day.
What?
I have stretch resolution, by the way. I can get like ultra stretch resolution.
In general, when rating video games as a whole, is that you could say, well, you shot on the veteran difficulty in this Sledgehammer game, but for being bad. But in this game,
this man really bought the level up quest pack just to get past me and levels.
More focusing. Call of Duty 3 uses to tell a realistic, grounded war story, and so did Call of Duty World War II.
Sorry, you missed the funny part.
Neither succeed at that, so there's nothing holding up the game to rise above its core traits like repetitive missions or crafting better difficult. World at War's main focus is to tell a diverse war story with an atmosphere that basically bleeds through the screen. They manage that focus, the point of the game, to near perfection, so the minor hiccups don't feel like a pile-up of all bad things in the game that are just stockpiling, but rather it feels like a few minor inconveniences that are between you and a perfect game. There's a quote, and I don't know who said it, or if it's always been a thing, or if it hasn't, but the quote is, you experience art through the way the artist intended, rather than through the way you want it to be. Basically saying, stop with the expectations, don't let that
if I use a minigun, are you gonna block me again like last time?
No, because I know how trash the minigun is now against me.
The game's focus. Does it accomplish this successfully? And sometimes what it is trying to accomplish can be even up for interpretation.
Yeah, I think you were lying about that. I'm good. I'm not using this.
They changed the AI of the Japanese soldiers just to make the missions feel different. They allowed you to play the Soviets versus
Alpha X
the
is
American versus the Japanese just to add variety. They added a whole new door system just to add this level of atmosphere.
I surprisingly don't know Alpha X at all. I don't even know how we joined. I think he joined through you, probably.
This brain
I would say all of that together makes for one of the best Call of Duty games. World War made the most terrifying World War II campaign in Call of Duty. And that is something to be proud of. One of the developers on this game actually said a quote stating that Call of Duty Modern Warfare redefined modern shooter. But we wanted to redefine.
I went from using a laptop's keyboard to using separate keyboards to using a laptop keyboard again to using a separate keyboard again, and I'm still cooking.
The fact though that they tried, and in the least they made a unique World War II experience. Blake Houston was the writer on this game, which he was the writer on quite a few rare Call of Duty titles, and Corky Lindfall is the game director, who also sticks with us for a lot of Treyarch's lifespan. These two individual leaders at Treyarch are actually some of the only Treyarch senior leadership to still be with the company till this very day, with Blake Houston being the main writer on Call of Duty Cold War, and Corky Lindfall still being the head game director of Black Ops Cold War as well. Their names are going to come up frequently in this video, but they do receive some backup for writing when it comes up to the Black Ops franchise. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to mention a death card in the campaign. You can collect them throughout your playthrough and unlock cheat codes for the main story. Think of them as souls in Halo, which when activated...
That clip is nasty. Chat.
Hold on. Zach, what's on next cash cup? What's on next cash cup?
I honestly don't know.
And a headshot like they naturally do in a
I really want to join it. I want to kind of join it.
I'm not playing any cash. I'm not going to do a cash cup. I'll never do cash cups.
The campaign with your friends. I just love this game. But I'll finish off talking about it by giving an example of what I brought up earlier, with succeeding at having such a clear main focus with your game that it can divert my attention away from minor limitations or even possible flaws. World at War's fourth mission is considered one of the best missions in Call of Duty history. You wake up in town waiting for a Nazi to notice you alive and just shoot you in the But as you fall past the dead corpses, you see a corpse slightly start moving, signaling you to stay quiet. He was faking being dead. It's Reznov. He proceeds to whisper to you and tell you his tale on how he's been hunting one single Nazi for 3 days straight. If he's caught, all will be for nothing, and you help him. Entire mission, snipe people until you finally kill the Nazi he has been chasing. Now, if you remember my Sledgehammer retrospective, you would remember that I had a complaint with Advanced Warfare, where if you were spotted in a stealth mission, they insta-failed you, and I hate that. The pet peeve of
you don't want to.
Off the mission immediately. Well, the same goes for this mission. The pet peeve of insta-failing if you're caught through stealth is still there. It still happens in this mission, and that pet peeve doesn't go away. The difference between the two, this mission revolves around killing one guy. He obviously wouldn't stay in the area if he hears Soviets are killing everybody. That's even less important than one reason is for their big difference. Their big difference is I didn't even think about it during this mission because...
If you're gonna kill me, then do it. I don't care.
It was immersion. It sets up how desperate Reznov is to kill this man. And I didn't even want to be caught.
Tell me right now.
I wasn't here to test it that much because I was immersed in his story. I allow myself to be immersed because the game wants me to be immersed. I could be a cynic and just be mad, but this isn't just a small area where if you were caught, the devs could just alter it quickly. This is an entire level. They would need to reformat the whole level if you were caught. The game wants you to roleplay.
Hold on, now I know.
This character and listen to Reznov's story. That's what's different from Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare would have to reformat one...
Full box is crazy.
Advanced Warfare doesn't ask me to roleplay. It just drops me in and says, don't forget to stay quiet, by the way, soldier. It has no subtlety. It has no care for its immersion. And blame the developers for that, or Activision, but it fails me if I'm caught,
Keyboard.
even though it wouldn't really matter if I was caught in that stealth mission. Advanced Warfare doesn't have a focus, though, and that's why these minor limitations feel like a stockpile of issues, whereas World at War it becomes a inconvenience to a near perfect campaign. Vendetta isn't even one of my favorite COD missions. It's not even my favorite World at War mission, probably, but it is the most engaging. It's the most cinematic mission in all of World at War, especially on a first playthrough.
Wow. Hey, bro, hold on. Wahaha. I'm trying to capture this one thing and it doesn't want to do it. Are you kidding me?
But not being as interesting in future.
Are you kidding me, bro? Okay, now you're just now I'm just annoyed.
It's a charm.
Right now.
So now we have stabbed the Soviet flag and defeated the Nazi army. And shit, I still have no
browser color.
Can you teach me how to double edit?
I gotta move on to multiplayer.
No, I don't think I can do that.
So you can triple edit.
I can quad edit. I can quad edit on PC, dude.
Don't know that. When playing as Dimitri, you will be given different points where you can decide if you're going to kill them. Decide not to. If you decide to kill them always, the ending narration of the game will describe.
Okay, so I'm trying to make this work, and now it doesn't want to work.
To spare some of them, he will say he has shown mercy and has shown also brutality. And if you spare all of them, he will describe you as a merciless hero that the Red Army should learn from. It's small things like this with narration.
Now I gotta re-download a software that I don't want to re-download.
But they did because they put tons of love into this game. Treyarch also did something else.
I might have to re-download a software that I don't want to re-download.
Developed around Nazi.
So this shit just does not want to work. Good to know.
You unlock.
Wait, media.
Yeah. It was hard to find tons of info about the original Nazi Zombies mode outside of Jason Blundell talking about its creation, noting a few interesting facts. Jason Blundell, by the
Zach,
way,
I want to play Battle Royale.
Talked about earlier about
I'm not playing Battle Royale today.
Lead producer on Zombies.
I never played Battle Royale with you before.
I know, that's the thing. I don't want to play Battle Royale. That's the problem.
But he moved up through the ranks with every Treyarch.
I'm not playing Battle Royale, period, my guy.
Jimmy's right. He was pretty much the head of Zombies creation from World at War.
I don't feel like playing Battle Royale at all.
We'll come back to later. There was one man who we have to thank for almost all the knowledge on how zombies came to be. That's Jesse Snyder Haxington. IGN actually recently wrote a whole new article mentioning this blog post that Jesse made that I will be referring to.
Alright, got it to work.
Conversation. Jesse Snyder wrote this long, detailed blog post that I will leave down the description by the way that tells you all the details on how Nazi zombies came about. I'm going to briefly sum it up. Treyarch was basically finished up World at War. The multiplayer team was still working on the multiplayer. The campaign team basically wanted an extra mode, kind of like how Modern Warfare had a log mission, the final nightclub mission. This also fits into the narrative that I speculated on earlier, where both these companies always had
For what?
that made each game better than the last. The Zombies probably would have never existed if this friendly competition between the two main developers didn't exist.
Yeah, man, I thought I had that.
Set on zombies being the concept for the extra mode that was they apparently played with the idea of doing a reverse D-Day where you would play as the Nazis mowing down Americans, and you would see how long you could survive until you were inevitably killed by them. Yeah, thank God that didn't make the final cut. But I mentioned this because this was their inspiration for the round-based 4 mode that Zombies would come. You would have to inevitably die, just like that German bunker who will be shooting at the Americans.
Oh.
That was key. You had to eventually know. One day in the office, when they were working on some animations for the campaign, somebody saw the way the Japanese soldiers were walking after being bombed in the second mission.
I could do some pullbacks today.
And the employee said, "Hey, they look like they walk like zombies." Next thing you know, multiple people in the office from Jimmy Violanti and Jesse Snyder, they were all working on creating zombies. They took these animations of the Japanese soldiers.
God damn, I gotta stop doing that. Fuck.
Made the animations, made the audio, and everything behind the back of Activision. Activision did not know about this mode at all. One day, Jason Blundell, being a producer and a programmer on the campaign, was seeing the progress they were making on these zombie animations, seeing the progress they were making on the map in the zombies mode. And he was so impressed by it, but they were all questioning one thing. Would Activision approve this? Treyarch needed to figure out a way to make the zombies mode addictive, because that was their key to getting this mode approved. Then one day a light bulb idea flickered into one of their heads to make this game, make this inevitable horde-based death, make it a first-person shooter tower defense game. Make Nazi zombies based off of Balloon's tower defense. Now, I don't literally mean Balloon's tower defense, but stick with me. In Nazi, you defend an area, you fight off hordes of enemies, you unlock power-ups, you unlock new weapons, you unlock a...
This is why I upload so many videos showing off my settings, because people always have disable pre-edited option turned off. It's so dumb.
Currency system, this is how they came up with the idea for the Windows system, came up with the idea of the mystery box, the wall buys, the power-up drop system. Everything was based on the concept of a tower defense game. The idea was eventually developed that everyone in the Treyarch office was playing zombies when not working on the actual game. And they were all competing against each other every single day to beat each other's high scores and to beat which round they could get to. It became so addictive that finally, Jason Blundell, finally, these other producers brought in the Activision executives and needed for them to give the mode a shape. They basically set them in a room and said, "All right, we're going to turn off the lights, just play it, see what you think." They came out, and they loved it. Their only agreement about Nazi zombies was that players had to unlock it after they beat the campaign. That they were actually so worried that people were going to play zombies instead of the campaign. The rest is Jesse Snyder, who wrote this blog, went on to be a lead level designer of
Cool piece.
and to help out with a few others.
Hold on, can you play Golden?
Continue work with rugby.
I don't play public creative. I'm just letting people join my lobby today. Because, like, I'm not getting off Fortnite for a while today.
Now the zombies accomplish what they wanted. Yes.
It was nice playing with you today. Bye-bye.
That has been replicated in other Call of Duty games.
Wait, who's this?
I'm not going to bed.
Some people
These are two kids that tried to join me.
to play zombies.
And that is that annoying kid again.
To it after playing newer zombies mode.
Chat, I'm muting the kid, don't worry. That's Jay. That's the He Loves Jay Brett guy again.
That's why I like to play franchises and
I'm muting him. Alright, cool kid.
And then you go back and you play the older one. It feels outdated. It doesn't have the fancy new stuff.
I've been going crazy, bro. I've been low-key playing like Peter Ball all day.
Comparing it to the
I have his literal setup too.
Though Notch is a great first experience, and Brucht is a solid one as well, but they only got better because they stopped using the multiplayer maps as their entire map length. Notch used the multiplayer map Airfield, and Brucht used the multiplayer
I'm also live right now too.
But Shino Numa and Derice do, and those were the last two.
I'm muted, Jay.
Now, I won't talk about these because, as I said, I will not factor paid DLC into my review. But even without any of the DLCs, Noct was a fun and addictive extra mode.
I'm not going to bed.
A few hours with friends and the zombies, and probably the bulk of your hours in a movie there.
My girl just said, go to bed, and I'm like, I'm not going to bed. I don't feel like it.
What time is it for you?
9:24.
9:24, it's 8:24 for me.
Present, but is made all the more intense.
Yeah, because you're an hour behind me.
First-person shooter agency.
Well, I mean, I'm about to ready to fuck up and get back in this bitch because, like, oh god.
see what's in front of you.
I'm also level 488. I was gonna go for level 500, but I said I don't care about that right now.
History standpoint, it's probably the game that
I'm trying to
inspired
go for
many
level
board games of
300.
the 2000s.
I don't know how people got so high
Probably
this
the
season.
reason why we started
Because
getting
it was easy.
first place. From Halo's firefight to
It might be because I didn't
this all started happening in the
start exactly when
2010s. And
The only reason
season
I
over?
get high levels is because I literally always buy the crew pack.
to be a perfect beginning to a long-running video game
yeah.
that has had a massive influence on the video game industry.
Wastelander Dummy doesn't leave until the 16th, until the day after the new season, until one day after the new season, which means I might buy that for levels. Okay, if this season's downtime is probably going to be tomorrow night, obviously. Wait. Okay, so this season ends on the 15th. Everything else you're supposedly supposed to leave on the 16th. I don't get that.
My expectations
I don't understand that at all.
came out and added quite a bit to my experience. It's
Wait, did
only
you say
a
you're
bad extra
streaming?
mode when you compare it to
Yes, I'm live on YouTube.
zombies rather
So now we gotta wait
You
for
do YouTube?
frickin' He
You
Loves
do
Jay to
YouTube?
get back into the game, get in the lobby. Yes, I do YouTube. I think that was obvious.
playing split-screen
Oh,
zombies.
hold on, I'm gonna search up
What
your
were you
YouTube channel.
probably
Hold up.
playing with?
My YouTube channel is my Fortnite name.
What were you playing multiplayer?
Huh?
Gameplay head design.
My Fortnite name is
Fortnite
my
name?
YouTube channel, yeah.
He also worked on
I
the
don't know, let's
multiplayer.
search
He will
up that.
stay the lead gameplay guy for Treyarch until his departure, literally just 3 or 4 months ago in August. So that's an easy name to remember because we're going to go over this guy a lot. He has so much to say about all these games. He gives us so much knowledge and insight onto all of their developments. He has been a leader for basically every multiplayer Treyarch has ever done. And he deserves every
Josh
respect
Box,
you
something
enjoyed any
tells me I'm
Treyarch
gonna
player. Once again, some of you know, his name is David Vonderhaar. Another man to thank would be one of the
I think he noticed my level, noticed my skin, noticed my banner, and left. And also noticed I'm on PC. Only reason that kid's name is Josh Box is because he has an Xbox Elite controller or the Xbox Scuff controller with back paddles and mouse triggers, which is the only reason he would ever have that name, which is actually true.
He has done so much for the Treyarch titles. David Vonderhaar doesn't
Yeah, I've been scanning why figuring out why people put boxes in their names usually. Either they edit with left stick with a Scuff controller or a DualSense Edge or an Elite, or they edit with left stick with a normal controller and think they're hot shit, or they play claw, or they just have a Scuff, play claw, and paddles all at once.
David King
Yeah.
might die. Just thought he deserved a shout out. As
You can find my stream, by the way, and my girlfriend's watching my stream right now too.
Find of him. Here it is. Caption of that picture.
I have 2 keyboards. I have my
4 hours.
Razer Huntsman under my monitor, and I'm using my Apex Pro TKO right now.
How many subscribers do you have?
I remember reading
500.
503.
No, I have 541.
validate it, so I'm not going to say 100% that that's true. It does sound about right, though, considering how much the World at War
Trying to
multiplayer
find you.
reuses from
What's
the
the
Modern
picture
Warfare
for your
multiplayer
YouTube
in
channel?
comparison
Pit stop.
to or the zombies mode, where
Huh?
The pit stop skin with a broken broken mask.
that was the case, it might not be true. I'll be entirely honest. I would not be honest.
You said 500 and what
It's definitely
subscribers?
obvious that
41.
a lot of their
41.
remaining time on
Okay, that could help me
multiplayer
because I'm not
they
gonna
even cut out
just look at the
massive chunks of the
subscribers
campaign that they
and
were
the
going to create,
thing.
like a British campaign that they were working on. That actually, when people
There's a
looked through
lot
the
if you
files
search
of
up
the
the
game,
thing.
they were able
I know because you're sorting it just by channels alone.
to cut.
Yeah.
That's
You need to sort it by all. You can't just sort it. You can't sort it with only channels. You have to sort it by everything. So I'm talking
Yeah.
channels, videos, everything, because then you can immediately find my channel. You guys, people make the mistake of searching it up through frickin'
I want to
through the frickin' like just channel only, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
skin over Modern Warfare. The backdrops for a lot of the maps feel somewhat boring. We're just like, like on Cliffside, there's ships in the background that just kind of sit there. They don't really shoot or do anything to each other to make like it looks like an all-encompassing battleground. And a lot of the maps do feel fairly lazy, but there's some really good standouts. You see Subbase, which is not a great map by any means, but it's a symmetrical map with conceptually really...
I got the camera focused down on my keyboard instead of at my face.
Like it was designed off of the area in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they parked the sub, and Indiana Jones has to disguise himself as a Nazi. There's Castle, Courtyard, Hangar, Cliffside, which I enjoy due to their power positions that people fight over. There's nowhere that feels safe on those maps, and that's
I'm still the best. I have 0 ping and over 900 FPS now.
They just aren't very memorable. The best maps in World at War, by far, were the ones that had somewhat openish areas and with power positions that watched over the majority of the map. It meant that if you spawned in, either you were going to have focus on getting one of those power positions,
guilty of sweating, yes.
Killing a guy who was going after the same power position that you were.
I admit it to my chat.
Those are
Bro, ready up.
fun maps of the game. I also thought about going into more detail about what makes...
You can find it while we're in the game.
Let me know if this is something that
I think I
are
might have
interested
found
in
it.
seeing in future.
You see, I don't know, because, like, if you subscribe, I either get a notification or I get a sound that somebody subscribed to my channel.
The perks are all pretty standard, but there's a couple...
Well, I mean, I don't get a noti, but I don't know, because my subscriber
Oh, this
count
is
will go
definitely
up.
not you. This guy's playing Rogue.
Basically, some
Minecraft.
perks are just guaranteed to give you free kills. And the weapon...
What is the profile picture?
It's like a black background with a red
in Call of Duty history.
like
It killed
line.
in 4 shots, and it was basically at any distance.
Okay, maybe now wasn't a good idea to put my party on public.
And I'm not going to pretend that this stuff brings down the multiplayer comes from me. I enjoy multiplayer on the basis of if I had a good time playing them. Like, it's chaotic, it's insanity, and sure, most of it's a rip-off of Modern Warfare with a reskin. But I'm also not going to lie. It's a really fucking cool
Hold on,
reskin.
can you say
Dogs
your
instead
name
of
for me
attack
so I can
helicopters
search it
was an
up on
awesome idea. The maps
or like
were
on voice to
eerie,
text?
even if they weren't
You mean-
My thing's-
well thought out.
Just search up my Fortnite name on Google.
Game was a great time.
On Google?
I mean, hell, if I'm going...
Yes, put my Fortnite name into Google and you'll find basically everything that has to do with me, including my TikTok and my YouTube.
That's fun. Modern Warfare 2 might be my favorite game in the entire series, but it's got a Pinto model, riot shield, new and I wouldn't change any of it for anything because it's chaotic and it's fun. World at War is just such a blast to play online. I really had a great time with it, and there is some stuff that's broken. It's not the most well thought out, and it is the worst part about the game. But that doesn't change the fact that I still had a really good time playing it when it was out. And I would still to this day if, you know, there wasn't hackers that were out there. The only way I'm able to play these games because I own them, do not emulate if you do not own a game. You will never suggest that on here. Of course not. Of course not.
Hello?
Yeah?
Oh, okay, sorry, my mic.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to
I'm
love.
already hitting a random edit course for no reason at all.
Well, let's not I'm going to be able to for 20-minute interval time. Whatever you're doing, keep it active. This is your time. This is your moment. Come on. Tom, Olivia, thank you so much. Leon.
Wawa's new personal pizza is here for dinner. Just $6.99 each. Gotta have a Wawa.
I could see the transition in my field. I had to sit back and ask myself, am I going to take my career into my own hands? My mantra is that every next level demands a different you, and Pretty Global is giving me an opportunity to prepare myself for that next level. I never could have saw myself going back to school, and I'm very proud and happy to start my journey. This is my comeback. This is my comeback. Start yours today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
But if you go online and, you know, go on Plutonium, you can also play it through there. And that's a great emulator to be able to play World at War on dedicated servers. There's not that many people on it right now, but it's better than buying World at War on Steam and then not even getting an online code. And even if you manage to get a copy with an online code, you're going to get put into a lobby with a bunch of hackers. You're never going to find an actual lobby, you know, key. So, with that being said, that's the only way I was able to actually play this game through a new set of eyes, if you want to play it as an adult online. And even though World at War doesn't have the best multiplayer, it doesn't change the fact that World at War is one of the greatest Call of Duty games ever made. It's what put Treyarch on the map, And to me,
I have 400.
Oh, I
500.
see it. I'm on it.
You're
Okay,
on my
I found it. Yeah, I found your YouTube channel.
Creating one of the best in terms of 2 years. Were they going to make another
There.
World at
Here
War
you
game?
You subs? Yeah, I can tell because I'm at 542.
Every forum online.
I can seriously see everything you're doing right now.
No, they were not going.
So you can see. So now, and also my girlfriend's in here, so she knows what my fingers can do. Yell it's Muppet Time Out Loud is crazy. I'm not yelling it's Muppet Time Out Loud, Izzy.
Like, subscribe.
And on top of that,
Bro, your
I kind of
keyboard looks crazy. Your
Your
keyboard looks absolutely crazy.
Join appreciation culture into
I have 2, and then I also have this.
And I'm going to be covering in the future
2 mice, both Logitech.
well
I have 3 controllers.
ever talking about the state of Call of Duty.
I have 3 controllers. One's the DualSense Edge, one's the normal PS5, and then one is the normal Xbox.
Talking about other videos and other films on this channel. So please show your support though. And
Hello?
Wait,
now
how
we're
old are
on
you?
to Black Ops.
I'm 16, dude.
Oh, 16?
I think one of the most
dang.
important
16.
for Call of Duty that we kind of have to talk about before bringing up Black
And
Ops was in 2009.
Oh, it's the same little
Spider
thing.
Up
Gateway.
2010. And that was the
Hello?
biggest and most direct
I'm muted, homie.
count for
Will you
Modern
give me
Warfare 1
today's
to
my
Modern
birthday?
Warfare 2. This is not
Brother
necessarily a
said,
bad
could you
thing, by
give
the
me?
way.
Man
Today's my
said, can you
birthday.
give me my, this is my birthday, it's crazy.
We're going
Bro,
Yeah,
the new
today's my
season's
birthday.
about
I'm
to
trying
come
get
out,
some
my
gifts.
guy. So wait, you go on Fortnite to go get some gifts instead of
Will you gift me?
going to have to
Bro, so you go on Fortnite and ask for some gifts instead of going.
I can't hear you.
not
Yes?
any war stories.
Bro, what's crazy is why would you go on Fortnite and ask for a gift when you need to just go and ask for your
bro,
parents for
thanks.
some
I'm gonna
V-Bucks?
leave. Bye.
It's not to emphasize any of
Bro, why ask for a gift on your birthday instead of going to ask your parents for some V-Bucks?
or they're insanely over the top.
Oh my
evil
god,
villains.
why?
We'll get
How
more
are
into
you
this
so
soon,
good?
But for
What the
now,
heck?
let's just talk about Black Ops 1 as a game.
What do you mean,
Oh
how am I
my
so good?
I didn't like as a kid.
Bro,
I'll
how are you-
explain why and talk
how
about
are
if I
you
still don't
good?
like it after
I got the super light mouse. So basically, I have Peter Bot's. I have both of Peter Bot's equipment.
with Call of Duty 3 did not.
Oh,
So
dang.
not only did this game have the full 2 years it needed to be created, but
You
it
have
didn't
3
have a
people
full
watching
of
you.
300 employees
Yeah, no.
working on a terrible James Bond game.
Is your,
This
let me
game
guess, your friends are watching you?
300
No,
And-
my girlfriend's watching me, and you're watching me.
for 2 years. With a few fresh faces to the leadership crew. Corky Limcol was still the director for Black Ops 1, even after being the director of World at War, but now he was
Oh my god, I'm
alongside
so
of
bad.
Noni.
Don't knock me down.
Dave Anthony helped out with co-writing the entire script of the game with the returning Craig
I
Hughes.
swear.
Dave
I
Anthony also was
swear I
a
suck
head
at
writer on
this
Black
game.
Ops 2 with David S. Goyer.
I fought you
I'm trying to
before
get
when you were
most
trash talking me so you could try to voice report me, and I still remember that I didn't even get banned for that at all.
Mostly a story consultant on Black Ops 1, but he was really involved with the creation of the entire story of Black Ops 2. Dave
Oh
Anthony is
my
an
God, I just
interesting
got out.
character, though, as the new game.
I got
don't knock me
on, I
down.
think 2 hours ago.
Don't.
Talking about Black Ops 2, but when you look at the Black Ops 1 interview, all you'll ever find him talking about is story. Not talking about the history of the Vietnam War, the history of the
I
Cold
actually
War.
suck.
They describe these historical events as backdrops.
I could get on my other my smaller keyboard.
Definitely been seen in Call of Duty before 2009 with
I could dead as good on my smaller keyboard.
did have a story, but still the core focus on the game
Oh my
was
God,
showing
how'd I
off how
hit that?
horrific.
The only reason I have my camera like this is because then my girlfriend, if my girlfriend ever asks me, yo, what do you do with those fingers?
Storytelling, honestly.
Check out my stream and you'll find out.
The same thing to World Out.
If my girl
Is
ever
she with
asks me,
you
what
right
can
now?
you do with them fingers? Check my stream and you'll find out what I can do with them fingers, right? I can do with them fingers, right?
War.
She's in
Wait,
the
is she
stream.
with you?
You mean like at the house?
Yeah, at your house.
In the
Or
first
is
10
she?
minutes of the game,
Oh yeah, she's just
watching.
laying down in my room and shit. Yeah, she's laying down in my room.
fucking Fidel Castro.
I'm in the basement streaming.
Dang. It would be like
I'm using my other keyboard
How do you
now.
even start a
you being a
YouTube channel?
paratrooper who was breaking.
First off, you gotta be older than you gotta be 13 or older. I mean 15 or older, I think.
Hitler in the first edition.
And then you see freaking 5-year-olds having
but
YouTube
instead would just be
accounts,
an
like,
action
what?
game, and that's okay. When I was a kid, though, picture me, and don't worry, you guys got my permission to imagine being minor, okay? Imagine playing this game like me when I was a kid, knowing that Gary Oldman was coming back as Reznov from World at War. So you're thinking this could be
Can I
some
try to
type
float
of
you
World
real
at
quick?
War sequel.
I can
And
still
then the game
float
opens up
myself,
with
by
an
the way.
absolute 80s action movie
can float
chaos.
yourself.
I grew up playing
Yes.
Modern Warfare a lot and not
How do you
really
do
enjoying
that?
the Black Ops storyline.
It's easy.
I
Never
didn't like
done
how
that.
restricted it all
What?
felt, and I know you might tilt your head to that and be confused, but let's come full circle and explain.
All I have to do is change my scene,
Coming full circle,
go to my logic
I
set,
said
go to my
earlier
mouse,
that the Vendetta mission from
go
World at
here.
War is the perfect
Instead of middle click, I
playthrough mission.
can just like, I have this like software that I use to make my mouse allow me to edit like a god.
And you might even start to
My
beat
brother
the
put some
To
like
me,
freaking
that is the
settings
entirety
on
of
my
Black Ops
PlayStation
1
that make me
campaign.
edit
When I
like
was a kid, I used to
crazy.
play all gillied up on
I
Modern
still
Warfare
stuff.
all the time.
But I can do
Wanna know
this.
Why? It's because if I screwed up, the enemies
Dang.
would still
Can I
attack.
see you float yourself?
Captain Price would call me an idiot, but
Hang
the
on.
mission would continue.
Have
If
you
I
ever
screwed
made
up, it was
yourself?
spotted
Have
by
you
the
ever made a
helicopter when
build
leaving the church.
invisible?
The helicopter would actually turn back around and chase me inside the church.
You can see that I'm literally just holding down my middle mouse button, by the way.
Try and kill me.
Oh,
And then the game gives
bro,
you the
you actually
ability to
made
use
it
rocket
invisible.
launchers so you can destroy the helicopter if you want to.
Crazy.
I can just hold down my mouse button because I got a software. It's not even macros. I just did something in my Fortnite settings, like in my keyboard and mouse settings. So now if I ever hold down my middle mouse button, I can just flat out edit like this without having to try anything. But now I can flow myself. Watch this.
Oh my
But when I
god.
didn't play it growing up,
Bro,
I tried
you can
different
seriously,
stuff like, oh, let
can
me
you
help out these
climb
guys, kill
through
the
the
guards on
buil-
Bermuda.
Oh, never
But
mind.
sometimes you can't
Here, let me
even
try
kill
to
the
float you.
guard.
Come up here, come up here.
And then other times,
I
you
might be
kill
a
the
little rusty,
guards, but then the prisoner just dies
I'm
with
rusty.
them, even though you just saved the prisoner. Like their body just goes limp because you got the guard. Another example is when you're behind the coal cart in Bermuda. Reznov says stay behind the cart. But yet the developers have all these obstacles all around you that
Just casually floating myself like usual.
acquiring it without
Oh,
having to be behind the coal cart. So you don't actually
Oh,
have to be
okay,
behind the
now
cart.
I
You can just
understand
go
it.
behind
So
this
you have to
wall
do
over here.
this.
You can go behind that pillow over there. That's what they
That's
want you
hard.
to think. Because I'd be replaying the game and you jump behind cover to the side and the enemy just shoots right through the cover. They literally are no clipping through the environment with their bullets. There's a sneaking mission
Hold
towards
on.
the end of the game.
I'm trying to figure out. I know I can flow myself like this. I've done it before, but it was kind of hard to do for some reason. Because you gotta get it
The
perfectly.
game disables. The game went
So if
out
I
of their
just-
way to disable picking up any guns in
If
the
I just
party.
break
So if
this.
you get caught, 100 troops come up to you, and then you can't even.
Okay, if I just did
Bro, I
that.
can
You can't even pick up
see
the
your
gun. You can't do
keyboard.
it because they
All you're
specifically
doing is
disable.
holding down
This
your
game
mouse and just pressing your button
and
a
I
little
mean
bit.
constantly exercises this thing that I'm going to refer to as purpose.
You gotta get the right angle at this point. Bro.
Capture
Fuck, hold on.
stuff, like borders on.
Fuck! I've floated myself normally like that before.
Stuff for the player.
Okay, there we go. I floated myself for like 5 seconds.
Exactly
Okay,
the
fine.
way they want you to, and if you play it even remotely,
It's so hard.
fail. Some of the missions are
I've done it before, dude.
Always
I think because I'm okay.
and many of
I have to look down perfectly, like
that it's a
right.
Wait, what
walking
level are you?
slightly away from your teammate.
I'm level 488 right now.
Oh, no. I mean, what level are you on ranked?
On veteran difficult.
Like-
Gold 3.
Yeah.
Or even hardened difficult.
Gold
You
3?
may be thinking,
I'm only gold 3 because I don't play that
oh
much.
shit, I'm gonna lure him
Me
back
too.
to the
I'm only
previous room and then
silver.
I'm gonna fight him in there.
So, I'm not like a...
Oh,
I'm not a
Next season,
fan.
the only reason I stopped playing ranked is because of those goddamn cars. But next season, I'm gonna just start playing.
swear.
I
swear those cars suck so much. They're
That's why next
stupid.
season I'm gonna try to hit elite.
to be able to fight against him.
I'll try to hit
never
elite next
hit
season.
more
No other
than
way to kill him on
platinum
veteran.
2 or 3.
I've hit diamond
Forgot.
3 on chapter 5 season 1.
That should be the case, and I don't think the case should be that I have to pick up a
I swear
very
if you
specific
pickaxe me-
fallen weapon in the previous room that I'm
I'm
not
one
going to be able to
shot.
go back to
No.
10 seconds later without failing the mission. Now, when I was a kid,
I wonder what Izzy's saying in my chat now.
does it
She just
bother
said
me?
yup. Izzy, I'm not going to bed though. Me no like bed.
To me, is a
Me no like bed.
for Call of Duty entering the cinematic
I'm also sick.
2000.
I'm playing while I'm sick too.
Era of
Just saying.
everything was trying to be movie-like, and the same goes for Call of Duty. I think at the time I did
Mindless
games were
tomato.
trying to be more like movies and not just.
Alright, we got.
Wait, do you play with
It's not
Run Your
nearly as
Fade?
much of a trend anymore.
That's a
I
what?
just play Black Ops
Run Your
as
Fade?
more of a time
Do you know her?
capsule of Call of Duty entering
No,
the
who's
cinematic
that?
trend of gaming, rather than it being the
What?
destruction of gaming or destroying my experience or whatever I was thinking.
Oh, hello,
Because
Deadpool.
Black Ops 1's entire
Remember?
foundation rides on.
Why do I
swear,
feel like Deadpool got I feel like Deadpool got either the Xbox Elite that is with left stick or got a scuff controller.
Let's just make an entire campaign of just
Bro,
narrow corridor shootouts.
seriously,
and really
Run Your Fade
kick-ass
is the person
environments
that
and have a scripted event
made
every
me
10 seconds.
meet you.
Now I will
Remember
say
that?
that's not
Because he's going
replayable.
to your party.
And that gets rid of a lot of the
And then,
amazing open area shootouts that Call of Duty
I
is known for
joined.
before 2010. But
Or
no
do you
matter
know her
how
as
much I complain
Tiana?
that
Do you
it's
know
not
Run Your Fade as
replayable, that
Tiana?
you're restricted to
Peyton?
do it.
Is it just. Oh, you mean Peyton?
Want you to. And that they
Yeah,
even restrict
that's Run
stuff
Your
on
Fade.
purpose, like letting enemies no clip shoot you through obstacles, or forcing you to not be allowed to pick up a
What's the name called? I'm Peyton or something?
Through all of this bitching. It makes for possibly the best campaign in the series for just one playthrough.
I know that if any person on a console can edit even close to how I edit, then they're either playing claw. That's too advanced for left stick, so they got paddles, or just scuff.
And focus for the video game as they.
I just know for any console player that does that, they either play claw, got a scuff, or just stuff flat out.
They wanted to make an
Have no
iconic
way.
story, and this story, regardless of all the nitpicking you can.
You can see my tinier keyboard too. I might get the Clicks keyboard and then Clicks' mouse one day.
Everything from the starting dialogue with the that Mason utters while in the CIA chamber, the badass plot twist, and finally the very rushed but ultimately charming ending. I swear to God, you killed Dragovich at the end of the game.
Izzy, you can't say that.
We won. While fighter jet.
I wish there was a different whipped cream on my waffle. Ayo. Marco just said, I wish there was a different whipped cream on my waffles.
But like I said.
Okay. Okay, Izzy.
Believe it or not, though, adults when they were kids playing Black Ops 1 thought this campaign was brutally linear. There's reviews complaining about this when the game first came out. But this can still annoy me without being the point of the game. This game doesn't have a good campaign because it's replayable, has massive battles, or has a great atmosphere. It has
Who are these
because
kids?
its focus, as we mentioned with World at War being
We got another possible
focus is on
Scuff.
creating well-crafted characters
or pattern for Xbox Elite.
with the Cold War and creating an extremely restrictive but engaging narrative. If you threw any other story or poorly written characters in the place of Black Ops' narrative, it would fall flat on its.
I need a mic so then people can just straight flat out hear my
The
keyboards.
core of it. By us accepting that it would fall flat on its face if the characters were poorly written or if the story wasn't good, that exemplifies how engaging it is. That just like Vendetta from World at War, it can help distract us from all the limitations that surround you in the game. I kind of just went on a rant, but it's very relieving now because it's basically me just finally explaining my 13-year grudge against Black Ops while also explaining my.
Brazil, I still have never done a tournament, but I'm this good.
Especially
some
if
reason.
it's your first time playing it, and I don't think that should be understated. I mean, hell, dude, most people don't even play Call of Duty campaigns more than one time. Most people don't even play them at all. It's basically an indirect sequel to World at War, and I love it. We'll come back around to this indirect sequel thing when we talk about Black Ops.
Also champ in here,
There's lots of
probably.
really cool stuff here, though. Like, you recount all of your memories to your interrogator, foreshadowing events like telling him, why don't you interrogate Hudson? But your interrogator actually is Hudson. It's clever, and it all leads to the classic plot twist scene where he says,
I changed my tag to another competitive tag bit.
it really is one of the best moments in games from 2010. There's a lot of geeky stuff in the story as well. You'll be laughing along with it when all of a sudden Frank Woods throws you a crossbow and is like, explosive stick round stuff. Or when you pick up a minigun and have to shoot your way out of a prison. It's absolutely bonkers, and the game knows it, which I respect. It takes its characters
Coolest kid.
but it
Coolest
takes
kid, bro.
seriously in the same way that an 80s
Either he's muted or like someone else is playing on his controller.
Oh, because I was gonna ask him if we're still together,
between
because
having
you know,
internal
he's my husband.
conflict.
That's crazy. My whole girlfriend's in the stream right now, bro. I tried adding you. Wait, you're a girl?
Yeah.
What are your tags, bro? Well, I mean, I should have guessed. I mean, like, I should have guessed you were a girl. I mean, you got 0 Blood Cup in that shit. I mean, no offense, just saying. Mostly. God
Hello?
damn.
Sorry about that.
Coolest kid, bro. Your
My
girl
mic-
is in here, bro.
Oh. Hello,
And
Deadpool.
it does it to
I didn't even notice that.
Speaking of
That's crazy.
perfection,
Well,
the
I
original
thought-
Treyarch artist who did World at War also